Hey, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to do a video. Today is Tuesday, November 7th. This is our second day of having our Tesla Model 3 long range as a rental car. Today we took it, we drove about 150 miles. We took it from Port Charlotte, Florida, to the very tip of Captiva Island, Sanibel and Captiva. Did a lot of driving around, checking all the damage from Hurricane Ian that hit in September of 2022. The damage is still devastating. The island it looks, that was one of our most favorite places that my wife and I went to for the past 25, 30 years. And even 14 months later, it still looks devastating. It's very sad, very, very sad. The businesses are trying to rebuild. They're trying to come back. They want people to, you know, they live off of tourists. That's what they do. So we went today. Drove all over the island, those of you familiar with Sanibel, we checked out a lot of the different condos that we used to stay at years ago. None of them are back in business. Some of them are totally destroyed, nothing there but sand. But I wanted to give you, anyway, we went to Captiva, drove around Captiva, and we had dinner at the Mucky Duck, great restaurant overlooking the Gulf of Mexico. If you ever have that chance, do it. What I wanted to talk about, though, was the car in general. It's and I don't want to be mean. You know, it's not. I don't even know how to say it. I mean, it has some wonderful characteristics and some not so wonderful characteristics. Now, on the good side, Autopilot is phenomenal. Excuse me. I drove on Autopilot on the interstate and some on Route 41 for a while, going to the island and around. It's top notch. I've seen some of the others that are out there, Blue Cruise and some of the others. Autopilot is where it's at. There's no question. And the car handles really well. When not on autopilot, it's very responsive. From the not so nice, I was sore. I mean, we didn't drive that far. And my hips hurt, and I don't know, I tried positioning the seat a few times. Again, excuse me. So, and again, I said this last night, it sits very low to the ground, and I'm a tall guy. I'm 6'2" and about, well, probably 230, 235. And I had trouble adjusting the seat. Every time I get in, I have to sit in the car and then swivel my seat in. When I try to lift my leg in and get in, it's just not comfortable. I don't know how to explain it other than that. It's got a lot of road noise, more than it should be. Now, I don't know if that's a different set of tires. It's got almost 40,000 miles on it now, 36, 38, something like that. And it was a rental car. So they may be on their second set of tires. I didn't check what was on it. And maybe they bought something that has a lot more road noise. Maybe they're not the standard. But, I mean, those aren't deal breakers, but I just wanted people to know my opinion. I had planned on someday buying a Tesla, and I may still. I may buy, for me, I don't think a Model 3 is my car. I'll just say that. We had, there was 4 of us today that took the trip, and the girls sat in the back seat, and my wife was telling me tonight, very uncomfortable in the back seat. She's a very petite woman, and she said, I just couldn't get comfortable, had a couple of leg cramps, and that shouldn't happen, not in a $40,000 car. Come on. So, we drove, it was about, from where we were at, it was about 60 or 70 miles to Sanibel and Captiva. So it wasn't like we were in the car for 5 hours. I mean, it was, but when we got out, we were stiff and sore. And then went to dinner, had a great dinner. Everything was wonderful. And as we drove around the island, just checking out all the sights. And on the way back, same thing. We just felt sore and just not as comfortable as I had expected it to be. The front seats are more comfortable than the rear, but even that, when we got back, my hips were like, I don't want to say sore, tight maybe. And maybe I didn't get everything positioned just perfectly, but I worked on the seats and stuff. And that brings up another thing. The seat is electric, so you can get that in the eight different positions. That is good. But like the steering wheel, I'm not a huge fan of the minimalistic view of everything being on the computer screen. Having to go into the computer screen, to go to the steering wheel, to then have the tilt wheel and telescoping wheel work. That, again, for me, that's 4 steps too many. It should just be on the wheel, and that should be very simple, and or a lever, or and as many of you know from my channel, I like things clear and concise, and I like things simple. Again, once you have to hit the car screen, then you got to go up and to hit, I can't remember what the screen was, that brings up the screen that shows your mirrors. And again, you have to hit the mirrors to then move your steering wheel, the little pin on your steering wheel to then set the mirrors, which once those are set and done, that's fine. You're done with that. But the tilt and telescoping steering wheel, if you tilt it like I like it down and extended, you have to go into that screen, pull it back up, pull up the steering wheel, and then rotate that ball up to get the tilt wheel out of your way so you can get out of the car. Too much, way too much work. So, I may be nitpicking on a few things, but I mean, it's a nice car. A lot of nice things. I just was kind of wanting everybody to know my feelings on, for me personally, I probably, when my Chevy Bolt is ready to be moved on, I'm right now I'm at 99% sure after just 2 days of driving this car, the Model 3 is probably not for me. Model Y might be a whole other story. My wife mentioned tonight, she said maybe next time we should rent a Model Y and see if that is completely different. I do know it sits up higher as you get in. I don't know if it sits 6 inches higher or 4 inches higher. I don't know the stats on that. So if any of you do, please let me know in the comments below. But with that, I got a couple of quick videos that are the second half of this, and they're very short, but it's just of the Gulf of Mexico and of the car at the restaurant. And just please like and subscribe. And again, I'm not bashing the Teslas. I love, like I said, they got some phenomenal things that it does. So let me get out of your hair and have a safe evening, guys. Oh, the Mucky Duck. What a beautiful restaurant. Beautiful restaurant on the Gulf of Mexico, Captiva Island. It don't get any better than this. Oh, that's fantastic. Great time. Had a great meal, great supper. And look at the Gulf of Mexico. How beautiful is that? Straight out. Oh. there's our Tesla parked right underneath the Monkey Duck sign. Perfect. That's a nice picture right there, people.